Good evening and welcome to news. I'm Salmata Jalloh. Coming up in tonight's edition of news, First Lady Sianya Makroma donates medical items to the Koidu Government Hospital. Environmental Foundation for Africa launches Biodiversity Week celebration. Deputy Minister of Social Welfare shows government's commitment to eradicate female genital mutilation. And local authorities in Mainkine community turn the soul for the construction of a police post. All the stories on more including business and sports news are lined up tonight. Welcome to news. For our first story, the Environmental Foundation for Africa, with the Integrated Geoinformation and Environmental Management Services, Jalloh University and other partners have launched the celebrations of Biodiversity Week at Sussex. The theme for the program was mainstreaming biodiversity, sustaining people and their livelihoods. Week-long activity is to raise awareness on the importance of biodiversity and to showcase the impact of encroachment, deforestation, and land degradation in Sierra Leone. Francis Danema reports.
Biodiversity is the foundation for life and forms the essential services provided by ecosystems. It therefore underpins people's livelihoods and sustainable development in all areas of activity, including economic sectors such as agriculture, forestry, fisheries, and tourism. The director of the Biodiversity and Renewable Energy Learning Center, Environmental Foundation for Africa, IFA, Aminata Bundu, informed the participants that the International Day for Biodiversity is observed yearly. She stressed that his institution and other partners are having a week-long activity to give enough information on biodiversity, its importance, and also ensure duty bearers act now to avert future environmental problems. The major flooding that occurred in the city last year, current water shortage, and the change in rain pattern are, according to Aminata Bundu, are as a result of deforestation, land degradation, and other human activities. The production engineer, Kuma Valley Water Company, Mohammed Koroma, told the gathering that encroachment, deforestation, and degradation are major reasons for the water shortage.
These are the current facts that has affected our supply. One, the dam is no longer enough for the city, and unless a second dam is constructed, it will continue to be like this. In fact, the case will be worse year after year. Climate change and climate variability has impacted negatively, so much so that we now have a rise in temperature with an accelerated rate of evaporation. You can feel it. You now know how hot Freetown is. Deforestation and encroachment has posed the greatest challenge, as we do now have a shift in the rain pattern, and we have less amount of annual precipitation.
He noted that the mandate of Guma Valley Water Company is to harvest, treat, and supply water to the city. He called on relevant authorities to reclaim the protected areas that have been encroached upon, so as to contribute to the solution of the water shortage in the city. National Protected Area Authority NPAA representative Baba Toure said his authority has taken several people to court for encroaching upon the protected area, pointing out that his authority has marked all the buildings that are constructed in the protected area and will soon start demolishing them. Integrated Geoinformation and Environmental Management Services, Julius Matai, explained the methods used to monitor and measure air, water, and noise. He said mobile phones can be used to display geographic information system.
The Deputy Minister of Social Welfare, Gender and Children's Affairs, Rukia Tunineturi, has assured members of the Forum Against Harmful Practices, a key champion against female genital mutilation in Sierra Leone, of government's commitment to eradicate female genital mutilation. She made this commitment during a dialogue session with the religious leaders at the Women and Youth Strengthening Center in Bo. Thomas Neal reports.
The program was organized by the Forum Against Harmful Practices and funded by Wallace Global Fund on the theme, The New Beginning, Protecting Women and Girls from Female Genital Mutilation. The Deputy Minister of Social Welfare, Gender and Children Affairs, Wugiatu Naneturi, said FGM poses a serious threat to the health of women and girls through psychosocial trauma and reproductive health. She said Pillar 8 in the Agenda for Prosperity prohibits underage initiation or rites of passage for girls, a commitment to international obligations to which Sierra Leone is a signatory, including the Maputo Protocol. The Deputy Minister pointed out that Sierra Leone is one of the 3 countries in West Africa with the highest prevalence of FGM in the world, and called on religious leaders to play a key role in addressing issues of FGM.
And the reason why they form the forum, now because we see say, Boko organization then they where we know the work for make them tap FGM. All man be the work in the own way. It's difficult for them how far the work don't go, and it's difficult for them see if you want to make reports who say you they give. So all the one the way they work on the issue say that we make an organization where we all they meet together for talk with one voice. We they talk with one voice. When now for tap FGM and continue it, boom.
Giving an overview of the project, a member of the Forum Against Harmful Practices, Aminata Kuma, said that the organization has been organizing a series of national dialogues and consultative meetings with key stakeholders to chart the way forward to end FGM following temporary ban on the practice. She said the consultative meeting were some of their strategies to end the Ebola epidemic, an opportunity that will strengthen and advocate for legislation permanently ban the practice. The Deputy Director of Gender, Gudi Soroni, said the Gender Ministry in partnership with UNICEF have supported the development of a national strategy on the reduction of FGM in the country, adding that the draft strategy is ready for finalization. The Chief Imam of Bo City, Alhaji Mustafa Kuka, appealed to the forum to continue sensitizing women, especially Suris, to see the need to stop FGM in the country.
Local authorities in the Mainkine community, Calabar Town, have turned the sword for the construction of a police post. The project was sponsored by a Sierra Leonean based in the United States. The project is as a result of the increase in crime rates in the Calabar Town community. Mama Denkekan was there. The Mainkine community is located in the outskirts of the Calabar Town community. Violence is on the increase in this part of the country. Issues relating to crime is being addressed by community leaders and at times taken to the Keste police station at Calabar Town. Stakeholders in the community expressed appreciation for the gesture, as they said it will ease security challenge in that part of the country. Councillor for Ward 346, Councillor Mary Kamara, said they have worked tirelessly for the construction of the police post to be established. Madam Kamara said the issue of constructing a police post was initiated by the community. It was the idea of the community to offer a piece of land for the construction of this edifice. Representing the sponsor of the project, Suraju Rollins Kamara said the project came at the right time as the community are in dire need of a police force, stating that security is relevant in any community development. He said Dr. Kurma is complementing the efforts of the government in the agenda for prosperity. Representing the Police Partnership Board, David Yembasu thanked Dr. Kurma for the venture, adding that there is need for a police post in the Calabar Town community. Mr. Yembasu pledged his support to the police post when constructed, as he will dialogue for police personnel to be assigned to the facility.
Resources for this project, and we wish that all the people that the millions and millions of those don't need for this project, God will provide for us. So on behalf of the act that God will cover them, provide for them, and bless them abundantly.
We believe strongly the building of this post will maintain peace and order and for secure life and property in the community.
A two-day technical meeting for the implementation of the project for the creation of the Mano River Union Water Basin Authority has commenced in Freetown. The meeting is as a result of a feasibility study for the creation of a cross-border river basin for the Union's member states. Reginald Strasaki reports on the opening session.
In a country that is experiencing water crisis, Sierra Leone Wednesday hosted countries from the member states of the Mano River Union in the process of establishing the Mano River Union Basin Authority. In the opening ceremony of the meeting, Simeon Moriba, deputizing the Secretary General of the Mano River Union, pointed out that one of the frequently asked questions is the relationship between the ECOWAS and the Mano River Union. He says the answer is simple, and that is one of absolute cooperation. He says one of the policies of the ECOWAS is the implementation of a water basin, and that is what is ongoing. Trans-boundary rivers, he says, are a source of peace and also of conflict. Moriba disclosed that they have developed a term of reference for the establishment of an authority, and that they have convinced the ECOWAS to have this meeting ahead of the Heads of State Summit. He appealed to all to make their best inputs for the success of the meeting. Ibrahim Babatunde Wilson, Director, Water Resources Coordinating Center, ECOWAS Commission, Burkina Faso, in his statement says that this is not the first time that they are having this meeting, as they have had other meetings before, and more especially a needs assessment meeting some 2 months ago for the Mano River Union. Ibrahim Wilson says they have developed a terms of reference for the establishment of the ongoing technical committee.
I, for one, am very passionate for water issues, and the incline in certain countries are different from the incline in some other countries. If it was a project totally meant for Sierra Leone, without asking anybody I know, Sierra Leone will want to talk about water supply. But water supply, for those of us in the water sector, we know is just a component of the entire water resource management. Therefore, this basin, especially for Sierra Leone, in as much as we'll be talking about water supply, but it's not entirely for water supply, it's the whole chain.
He called on all the members of the committee to give their best for the benefit of all the member states, so that they will be able to establish a water basin authority. Dr. Mohamed Duno, Director General of the Bureau of Strategy and Development in Guinea, underscored the importance of the management of water. He says they have had several meetings to identify ways to manage water resources as well as sharing. He reiterated their commitment to the common goal and expressed hope for the establishment of the authority. Kadio Ajumani Ame, leader of the delegation from Ivory Coast, thanked ECOWAS for organizing the meeting and disclosed his country's commitment to the establishment of the authority. Mohamed Sa Joanna from Sierra Leone's Ministry of Water Resources noted that the transboundary water management is a key, as it is part of the Agenda for Prosperity, Pillar 3, and pledged his ministry's support for the realization of this project. Reginald Strasaki, SLBC TV News Hour.
5 children in the Koinodogo district are to benefit from school feeding projects by the Catholic Relief Services with funds from the United States Department of Agriculture. This initiative is under the McGovern International Food for Education program to improve quality of literacy instruction and short-term hunger. Princess Gibson was at the launching ceremony.
The $18.2 million feeding project provides daily meals for over 28 2,000 pupils and 700 teachers in 5 chiefdoms in the Kwenadugu district. The Food for Education Phase 3 program is a holistic project that improves school infrastructure, wash facilities, training of literacy coaches and teachers in effective literacy teaching techniques. David Sombi is in charge of the All Pikin for Land Phase 3 project.
National school feeding policy that was drafted and the blueprint for school feeding that was also developed during the Ebola phase, it was clear that all schools across the country are going to get one mid-morning nutritious meal. So even though we had 2 meals in phase 2, we said we have to be in line with the national program. So in phase 2, there will be only 1 meal. Students, no more 2 meals.
The United States Ambassador to Sierra Leone, John Hoover, describes the Food for Education project as an investment in the educational sector of Sierra Leone. This, he says, will improve the educational indices in the country. The Deputy Country Director, World Food Program, Kinde Samba, says support by partners in the educational sector to address gaps caused by the Ebola is critical. She says a survey conducted by her organization shows decline in school facilities, citing water and sanitation facilities. The school feeding projects, according to the WFP deputy boss, will serve as a safety net to poor communities and called on other educational partners to support national policy. The Minister of Education, Science and Technology, Dr. Mikhail Uba, says even though the challenges of school feeding program are enormous, its benefits are huge. He says school feeding has seen overcrowding in schools and served as an incentive to increase enrollment and retention level in schools.
For us in Sierra Leone, we said we are introducing a national school feeding program to increase enrollment in our schools and also retention in school. We realize some pupils go to school in the morning, by lunch hour, they go back home because they cannot stay in school, they are very hungry. Some cannot go to school early because they don't have something to eat in the morning before going to school. It also prevented them from going to school.
Paramount Chief Roman Manga Salifu Samua of Falaba Solima Chiefdom Kwenadugu district, where the project is being implemented, tells SLBC his impression about the project.
We are very, very much impressed because of the good job they are doing, because they have encouraged the children to go to school. We have got a good number of attendants presently through their intervention.
This 3-year project is expected to improve literacy for school-age children. Princess Gibson, SLBC News.
In continuation of the operations of the Transco project, a team from Transco has held a 2-day National Monitoring Committee meeting in Freetown. The meeting is to look at the implementation of the major recommendations from a workshop held in December 2015 on the environmental monitoring strategy of the project. Daphne Kimamakwali was there.
Recommendations made from the environmental monitoring strategy of the project in December 2015 are the Environment Protection Agency License Project for 2 years, data consultation, among others. According to the Environment Coordinator of Transco, Pakidam Kolani, they have organized a meeting to get the exact data before the arrival of the contractor of the field so that people affected are on the list of people to benefit. Pakidam Kolani said the environmental monitoring strategy shall have a contractor who complies with the existing and current environmental laws and regulations of the CLSG countries and funding countries.
I'm Mr. Kolani. We are in Freetown because of the CLSG project, Transco CLSG, which is an interconnection project which will be built through 4 countries: Cote d'Ivoire, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Guinea. We want through this project to bring electricity.
Acting Deputy Director General of the Electricity Generation and Transmission Company, EGTC, John Kabia, said the total electricity that will be transmitted to Sierra Leone is 225 voltage to pass through 535 kilometers. He said 194 hectares of land and over 414 people will be affected by the project. The Transco CLSG project is a $400 million transmission project that is to transmit electricity from Côte d'Ivoire to Sierra Leone and will affect 7 districts in the country. The team from Transco is working with the Electricity Distribution and Supply Authority, the sole distributor and supplier of electricity in Sierra Leone.
The First Lady, Sianyama Kuruma, has donated medical items to the Koido Government Hospital and the Peripheral Health Unit at Tombodu, Kamara Chiefdom in the Kono District. Kojo Kwafa reports.
The First Lady, Sia Nyamakuruma, on her way to Kono, made a stopover in Makeni to sympathize with the mayor, Madam Sunkarikaba, who is bereaved. The First Lady was accompanied by other stakeholders, including the resident minister, North Ali D. Kamara.
And the small brother said, we can't go in a good road. Sometimes they got the test most of my you feel saying, are you wondering then at the world? But we young Christian that will forget to God. God can try more time. If you say, would I elect now, you the test more for raise you to higher heights. So we are take courage.
She later visited the Abdul Kanu family in Makali in the Tonkolele district, where she was commended for her strides in promoting women and children's issues and for supporting President Kuruma in ending the Ebola outbreak in the country. She was also asked to pass on a special thank you message to the President for the infrastructural developments in the district, including good roads, regular electricity supply, and for bringing to an end the Ebola virus disease. The First Lady attributed the defeat against Ebola to the resilience of the people of Sierra Leone, with special reference to the people of Makali.
We are glad now because the Ebola don't done. And they tell all my all the soul the whole left lost from this Ebola. When God did a good road, whether left, don't not forget. That on touch, that alone, protect them. All the laws them, don't follow. So today, I just say thank you to now. Let God bless you now. And they go home now, they go now. But on the way back, I go must tell you now. Thank you.
The people of Kono came out in large numbers to welcome one of their own. She was given a warm welcome with appreciation for her relentless efforts in ensuring that Kono benefits from the ongoing development projects across the country. This is the First Lady's first visit to Kono since the end of the Ebola outbreak.
Yeah, you know what can? You not tell you say you welcome na Kono district. Yeah, you
The people of Kamara Chiefdom expressed appreciation to the First Lady for advocating on their behalf for a peripheral health unit complete with staff quarters.
So now, on behalf of the office of the First Lady and on my own personal behalf, I hand over the medical items here to the DMO and CHO. So the CHO now, yeah, for let them make good use of them and let them know say we support for this building.
The First Lady encouraged them to make good use of the facility and the medical items that she donated.
Well, let's see a sign of development. Yeah. We're on our agenda for prosperity. You know, while Tombodu self left out of the agenda for prosperity. So, an expansion of the health system, and the nurses, what has this? The hospital and the extent. Look for partners and when they say and at the same time we're doing small donation. But we can look and assess the work. Let you know, say we will support President Kuruma agenda for prosperity in Tombodu Kamarachi. Indeed.
The Minister of Transport and Aviation, Balogun Kuruma, also an indigene of Kono, donated 100 bags of cement which would be used to construct a wall for the facility. The community health officer at the PHU Mtumbudu thanks the First Lady for the donation, saying it will go a long way in helping patients get adequate care whilst protecting staff from getting into contact with communicable diseases. He appealed to the First Lady to advocate on their behalf for a separate building that would be used as a triage. Chiefdom Speaker Kamara Chiefdom Chief Samuka informed the gathering that the construction of the facility was made possible through the efforts of the First Lady.
We must really, you and Imam, we are all put hands together for bring health to good standard. That is Chiefdom Yaso and the whole country. So we tell you plenty thank you. We appreciate that then things the way you give to their nurses there, so they put her into very good use.
The First Lady also donated sewing machines provided by the wife of the Chinese ambassador to the Yengema Skills Training Center, presented by the wife of the Minister of Transport and Aviation. The people of Connaught were in a jubilant mood, expressing gratitude to the First Lady for her advocacy and to President Ernest Bai Koroma for fulfilling his promise under the agenda for prosperity by providing good roads and electricity supply. The First Lady also attended the funeral of Joseph Dabunde, a prominent businessman of Connaught who is well respected in and out of Connaught. The late Joseph Dabunde is father to Honorable Dr. Dabunde of Constituency 20 in Connaught District. The funeral was attended by various dignitaries and stakeholders in Connaught District. Joseph Dabunde was described as a man who, though uneducated, possessed the gift of wisdom in the management of his affairs and in his interaction with others. The First Lady later visited Diamond Lodge Hotel, where she encouraged the management and staff to maintain high standards for the promotion of tourism in the district. Kojo Kwafo, SLBC.
A non-governmental organization, Youth Rise for Rural Development and Peace Building, has held a one-day consultative forum in Kisii Town Camp, Waterloo, to educate residents, promote and protect the rights of women, girl, child, and vulnerable people. During Kaloko reports.
Addressing community people on the Child Rights Act, Executive Director for Youth Rise, Adams Kamara, says all children deserve the right to make contributions when adults take decisions.
We apologize for that. Sierra Leone's ambassador to the People's Republic of China, Almami Pikurma, has presented his letters of credence to the President of China, Xi Jinping, at the Great Wall of the People in Beijing. Ambassador Almami Pikurma told the Chinese president of the close bilateral ties between the two countries and reaffirmed the mutual interest, especially lifting the bars of cooperation between the two countries. Ambassador Almami Pikurma commended China for its support in tackling the Ebola epidemic in West Africa. He said Sierra Leone will continue to stand along China, just as the Chinese have always stood by Sierra Leone. President Xi Jinping congratulated the new ambassador on his appointment and spoke highly of the long-standing ties between the two nations. He committed his country's determination to always support Sierra Leone's development drive. Well, it's now time for the business news.
Good evening and welcome to the business updates. We begin with the foreign exchange rates. The US dollar buys at 6,037 leones and sells at 6,159 leones. Pound sterling buys at 8,754 leones and sells at 8,935 leones. Euro buys at 6,840 leones and sells at 6,979 leones. That's the foreign exchange rate courtesy of the United Bank for Africa, UBA. The United Bank for Africa, UBA, has posted its 2015 profits before tax of 19.7 billion leones, which shows 62% increase over its 2014 boost. To know more about some of the mechanisms that led to the increase in growth, our business producer Lucian Ganda engaged the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer UBA, Ndebuzi Ejefo in this interview.
I think what we are getting right is that we listen to customers and we design our products and services to meet the needs of the customer. And that's what banking is about. And that's why we have consistently produced records that is consistent with our service promise to customers. In 2014, we made a remarkable progress, posting a profit before tax of 12.1 billion. And then in 2015, despite economic challenges, changes in macroeconomic fundamentals, and stiff competition, we were still able to post a profit before tax of 19.7 billion. And that's affirmation of customer acceptance of our products and services. Not only in terms of profit, you can look at our major lines too. We increased on all the major lines. Okay. We recorded improvement in our gross earnings. Our gross earnings moved from moved up to 43 billion from 31 billion in 2014. Okay. Which is a 39% growth in a small economy like this. Our profit after tax also significantly improved from 8.6 billion in 2014 to 13.6 billion in 2015. Significantly, our tax payment to government also increased. Okay. In 2015, we paid tax of over 3 billion to government, which will help in developing the local economy.
Okay. Yes, let me just interrupt you there. You spoke about listening to customers. Yes. How do you listen to customers?
Okay. We have channels that we have deployed to make banking easy for customers, that they have tailored their product and services such that customers can access it even from the comfort of their house. So we look at the design of our customers and know their peculiar need. And then because we have technology to drive our processes and products, we customize our product and services and structure our processes to support the customers such that they have almost unlimited access to their funds and they can make payment wherever they want to do it. And we don't have off banking hours. So our channels are open 24/7.
He is the Managing Director and CEO, UBA Ndebuzi Ejefo, ending that interview with Lucian Ganda. A one-day seminar on the theme Why the Focus on Private Sector Development in Sierra has ended at the Bintimani Hotel, Aberdeen. The seminar, organized by CODE, aimed to build resilient business and support small entrepreneurs in challenging contexts by offering expertise in network and capacity building. Dohin Kaloko reports.
With small businesses being vital towards the development and inclusive growth of every nation, CODE Aid, a Catholic organization, has over the years been striving hard to fight poverty with a special emphasis on sustainable and performance-based projects that tackle health, security, justice, and economic development. The new initiative is designed for business owners to have a better understanding as to the relevance of sustainable growth and be able to overcome challenges facing them. The country director of CODE Sierra Leone spoke about the relevance attached to the business sector, in which business owners have played a significant role in improving the sector. She calls on the business owners to practice professional skills in meeting the international best practices. She spoke about her institution's commitment in creating an enabling environment for business owners to develop and work towards the competitive market. The private sector coordinator and transition and recovery team, Mr. Oluyini Robin Coker, said that businesses should be treated with utmost seriousness if one should develop and expand for sustainable growth. He spoke about the essence of partnership, which is important for business people to grow, and sustainable cordial relationship Mr. Oluyeni said that business people should always spend time, dedication and commitment towards their businesses. Chief Executive Officer of Corporate Affairs Commission, Michaela Maki, spoke about the importance of compliance when doing a business, adding that they should always pay their taxes and have a financial report. She encouraged business owners to always abide to the regulations of the business sector and international standards. The managing director of Diane explained our ordeal and experiences gained over the years since she started her businesses. She spoke of the need of encouraging university students.
Well, that's it from the business desk. Many thanks for your time. I'm Jude. Good night.
We continue with more stories. The Minister of Water Resources, Momodu Maligi, has updated the President on progress made in addressing the current water situation in the municipality. The briefing took place at State House. Raza Bashkama sent us this report.
Updating the President on the progress made so far, the Minister of Water Resources, Momodu Maligi, said the leaking score valve in the dam has been plugged, thus reducing the volume of water lost from the dam. He added that coupled with the sustained reduced abstraction, level in the dams has improved from 5 to 3.8 feet below the year's level. The Minister disclosed that after the meeting with the President on Monday, the 9th of May this year, they went to the Sierra Water Company Salwako head office at Tower Hill for the handing over of 7 bowsers. This exercise, he pointed out, went until late in the night, was coordinated by him and was witnessed by Dr. Kagbo from the Office of the President. On the installation and rehabilitation of water tanks and bowsers deliveries, Mr. Momodu Maligi maintained that the bowsers received from the Ministry of Water Resources have been exclusively used to supply community facilities, which has helped greatly to improve water access in unserved communities along the city.
Talk about that. We've engaged Parliament extensively the whole of last week, and the exercise is going on. I believe the report should be produced either tomorrow.
I should submit it to them tomorrow.
The approach we decided to take is this is going to be a huge public issue because demolition of houses has to happen. So we've agreed that we don't want to take a position that His Excellency gave an executive order. Let the people of Sierra Leone, represented by the Parliament, ratify the action to be taken. And the Parliament seems to be quite committed to it. In fact, one of the parliamentarians who was a member of the Parliamentary Committee on Water is quite aware. He used to be a surveyor, and he spoke extensively of how much damage is happening in his community. That's in the Grafty and up to where the dam is itself. So, and they've agreed to take the lead to engage their community members. So, I believe once the report is produced, I'll also present it in Cabinet and ask for permission to let Parliament take the lead in that action.
Welcoming the team, President Kuruma said, because of the collaboration existing between the various stakeholders, they have started realizing the pressure is getting less, although it is still there. The President pointed out that on issues like this and any other government issue, they should expect detractors and distractions. But what is important is that they need to remain focused until they have addressed the issues. He maintained that during the last meeting, they outlined issues to be addressed, and as at now, they have immediate reaction that is ongoing, adding that it is good that very soon they will have a source from which all of the bowsers will have water from. President Ernest Koroma added that the collection of the water will not disrupt the regular supply of water to the city as they continue to adjust the water supply they are using in the valve system. The President reiterated that government will continue with the process until they strut the medium-term response and expressed delight that they have been provided with a commitment by the British government to help rehabilitate the present system as it really needs rehabilitation.
These are possibilities that we should look at and marry them, and now it is Freetown, but we have to look at beyond Freetown so that we continue to increase the population that have access to pipe-borne water. But again, we have to stay engaged as a sector. All of us should collaborate and also engage the community, because what goes out there should be the reality on the ground. The efforts we are making should be made known. The effect it is having on the people should also be made known. We should not allow people to hijack the process using propaganda, because at the end of the day, that is what they will be interested in doing. But I am sure with all of these gains, the situation has not stabilized. It is now for us to really move some quick steps forward, to be on top of it, and then we can really guide the process until we get to the point wherein everybody will be reasonably happy with the water situation. It's quite a serious situation, as you have realized. I am surprised that even the water sources that we hope to use when the supply in Guma is dwindling down are now reported to be no more. It is quite a serious situation. It is quite a serious situation. We have to continue to work on reforestation programs with the Ministry of Agriculture. It should be a major program, not only in the protected area, but for the whole city. I mean, I think we have to inculcate the habit of planting a tree in your backyard or wherever you live, and so that we encourage making our country green again, because it's quite.
That will be our last news item, and now trending news, the main points again. First Lady Esther Kuruma has donated medical items to the Koidu Government Hospital and the Peripheral Health Unit in Kono District. Environmental Foundation for Africa has launched Biodiversity Week celebrations. Deputy Minister of Social Welfare has assured of government's commitment to eradicate female genital mutilation, and local authorities in the Mankine community have turned the sword for the construction of a police post. That's all in the news tonight. Many thanks to the news editor, Ibrahim Mansouri, news producer Daphne Zadakuma, and the rest of the team. Thanks for watching and good night.
Hello and welcome to Issues in the News. In the program, the Sierra Leone People's Party has organized a press conference concerning a position paper that was issued to Statistics Sierra Leone last year relating to the housing and population census on the 2nd of April, rejecting the provisional results published by Statistics Sierra Leone. The party is calling on Statistics Sierra Leone to look into the matter. To further discuss this, I've been joined in the studio by SLPP Publicity Secretary Lawrence Lima. Welcome to Issues in the News.
Thank you. Thank you, and good evening, listeners.
And it's a pleasure having you here for the discussion. So what are some of the reasons for rejecting the results?
Well, we've looked at this work done by Statistics Sierra Leone, not from any partisan angle. We've looked at it from a nationalistic perspective, because it is the outcome of census that we are able to determine development policies, that we are able also, and also again development partners who may want to come to invest in Sierra Leone, precisely our population strength, to be able to help them get the right information as to how populations are allocated in the country and what's the population strength in the country, which aids development, and in terms of also seeking views from government based on the population strength you have, will be able to determine the economic, political development, and even social development. So it is from that perspective that we have looked at the job done by Statistics Sierra Leone, that we came out initially when Statistics Sierra Leone, if you look at even the factors also governing the work of Statistics Sierra Leone, this was the letter. First of all, a Statistic Council was set up to help Statistics Sierra Leone do their work. Now, this was a letter even written to His Excellency the President after Dr. Pepper's report of recommendations to Statistics Sierra Leone, based on the facts that he found out. Now, Mr. Malaman Thomas, who signed this letter, wrote this letter personally to His Excellency the President, highlighting all the anomalies found out in Statistics Sierra Leone.
But the SLPP was part of the team that conducted the census.
Yes.
So why rejecting this?
Yes. Now the point now, so the Sierra Leone People's Party was looking at, first of all, when you look at the work of the technical committee, it's a very crucial aspect that they profile in the work of Statistics Sierra Leone. Now that is to enhance quality assurance of the work of Statistics Sierra Leone. So which means when the technical team is being set up, they are to be involved in the process right throughout. Now, Sierra Leone People's Party sent in representatives.
You're talking about Professor Bob Kande.
Yes, Sierra Leone People's Party
represented the
sent in representative into the work of Statistics Sierra Leone. Now, Professor Bob Kande and other technical members were there, right on to the point of the enumeration stage, which is the very much crucial and essential aspect of the entire census process, because it is at that process that the counting exercise is still has to go on. If at that stage you now decide, the Statistics Sierra Leone then decided to exclude the technical committee from the work. In fact, their argument was,
so how can
you
you substantiate this point you are making, that Professor Bob Kande was excluded at the enumeration stage?
When the when statistics actually took the report without even taking it to the technical committee for verification, when they took the report to His Excellency the President for commissioning, shortly after that, the Sierra Leone People's Party came up with press statement and a position paper rejecting the outcome of the provisional result. Now, a day after that, Professor Bob Kande was on 98.1, even himself, because we had a stakeholders meeting from which we are looking into it, and Professor Bob Kande came to 98.1, giving his view or giving the anomalies that we are in the system. That is what he was excluded. In himself and other members of the technical team were excluded from the process from September, October. Around that period, they were excluded, and that was the stage at which the very essential job of Statistics Sierra Leone was going on. And that besides, even Mr. Warate, who represented the civil society organization, of which the government itself has confidence in Mr. Warate himself did